Parasyte the Maxim, Episode 5, The Stranger. This was definitely the craziest episode so far. Like, it had me, like, I gasped at the moment where Shinichi's mother got her head chopped off. Because I wasn't expecting that. I thought something might happen, because there were definitely a couple of things in this episode that were revealed to us. The main thing I would, probably be Shinichi's mother getting killed, and also his father, because he had like a giant gash in his back, and seemingly passed out in the telephone booth. So he's presumably dead as well. But that was like the second crazy moment. Of course, there was the third insane moment at the very end, where Shinichi gets stabbed like straight through the heart, and that made me wish when that happened at the end, because there was already the moment in the beginning where there was the car crash and the parasite went from the female body to the male body. I was like, okay, that's very interesting. It wasn't like a holy crap moment. Then Shinichi's mother died and her head came off, and I was like that for like probably 30 seconds. And so that happened, really insane. And then this parasite takes his mother back home, and Shinichi's, of course, really in denial. And then he gets hit through the heart, and I was like, I wish I skipped this episode. I wish I let myself get far enough behind to where I just got to see this episode and the next episode together. Like, despite me, uploading for the channel, it's just like, I kind of wish I just waited until I could see both episodes back to back, because I want to see what happens. I'm so curious as to how this is going to work out for his character, because the whole thing is like, oh, the body's dying, then the parasite can't survive, but there's obviously more to it. Like, he's going to make it out of this, that's clear, and maybe it has something to do with Shinichi and Migi being bonded. Maybe there's something there where Migi is now a part of the vital organs or something like that, and maybe she can substitute for at least a time. I don't know, maybe his heart, or him being wounded like that. But I'm looking forward to it. That was really good. Another really holy crap moment was meeting the girl Kana, I believe was her name. That could be the girl that Shinichi's trying to date. But either way, this girl, I don't know what her deal is. She somehow has the sensory ability, so that kind of introduces the fact that certain humans can see parasites. And that kind of has me questioning whether or not the parasites have been on Earth before. And it kind of goes back to like the teacher and her having a child. Like, she's having a human child, but the body itself is controlled by the parasite. And it makes me wonder if that's happened before, and that's how this girl, when she she looked at Shinichi and she saw the red dots and everything, and I was like, okay, well, she can't be a parasite like that. It was really quick. I was like, maybe she's a parasite, and then it was like, well, she can't be, because Migi would have sensed her, and that would have been pretty much it, and they probably would have ended up fighting right there. So I was like, okay, so she's not a parasite, but she knows something's off. She doesn't know that it's a parasite, but something's off when she touched, when she was holding on to Shinichi's hand, which is Migi. She's like just looking at his hand, and she can tell that something's off. And once again, just how is that gonna play out? Like, what in the world's happening there? Shinichi totally getting beat up in this episode was something, because he had to worry about whether or not Migi was gonna wake up and obliterate all these people. And so that was pretty interesting. And he decides, like, I'm gonna help, even though I'm just gonna get pretty much destroyed. I'm going to stand up to these bullies, and I'm going to try to help this guy from my class, or just from my school in general. So he gets beat up, and then he's about to get beat up again. He does get beat up again, because the guy with the hat, who apparently knew martial arts, because he was doing, like, roundhouse kicks and stuff, and he had, like, certain moves that he was doing. I'm like, of course the bully is, like, it's the worst. When the bully knows martial arts, it's devastating. So he goes up against him again, and he's just getting destroyed. And then, like, this giant group of, I kind of wish they showed it, but, like, they all get found out by, like, the big group of people. I was like, I kind of wish they showed them get jumped a little, because it would have been a little bit more satisfying. Like, we know it happened, because, these guys were at it again, and they were seemingly about to do something much worse than what they did before. And, it would have been pretty satisfying to see, like, this giant group of people, even if you could only see the people, and you just see fists and, feet going up. It would have been a bit more satisfying. But it was still pretty cool. It's like, okay, well, solve that problem. They're dealt with. That's probably not going to be coming up in the next episode. But we will be seeing the girl a lot more. I'm sure of that. So I'm looking forward to that. Um, I can't wait to see how in the world Shinichi is going to end up surviving this. I don't know if Migi. I don't know. I'm just really curious. I'm wondering what's going to happen. We still have sort of the thing where they are obviously blended mentally, but this might actually show us the sort of physical aspect because instantly when Migi attached herself to Shinichi changed. Like, he didn't have that fear of bugs anymore. He was, much calmer and stuff, and he stood up to people way more. In this episode, it wasn't as drastic as it seemed when, like, he found those three guys that had the cat buried in the sand. In this one, it seemed like he was actually thinking about it. That one, he kind of just seemed like he was really angry, probably because it was just the very beginning, so he didn't even have any sort of control. It was just like, boom, he's different now. So in this one, it seemed like he was a little bit more himself, where he was contemplating, like, I want to stand up for this guy, but I don't want Migi to wake up because, she'll do this and they'll be, like, split in three pieces. So it was pretty interesting to see that transition from, I believe it was it was either the first or second episode when he dealt with those guys in the cat. So it was nice to kind of see that transition, but I don't know what's going to happen. I'm really excited for it. Definitely my favorite episode so far. Just like one cool thing after another. Is like, okay, so it is official. Parasites can transfer bodies, but it's something about having taken over as one sex is very different, and it won't allow, like, the body won't take, basically. So it has to be another body. And that was a really funny scene, too, when it's walking and it's like, boy, male organs are so different than female organs. It's hard to control them. And it's just like a guy walking down the street and he's just got pee in his pants. And I was like, that's just really funny. And then it gets crazy and it looked like it was basically drying up. And I thought that was pretty crazy. Like, it's weird that didn't work. Maybe we'll get an answer, maybe we won't. Because the parasites, considering what happened, the parasite could have an answer. Like, the body wasn't taking because, obviously men and women physically very different. So maybe that was just a part of it. Maybe just being a part of this body. Because with it being a parasite, I can understand how switching bodies is way too drastic. Because it could work for a little bit, but it's meant to stay, where it is. Because it's a parasite, it's meant to live off of a certain... And once it's attached to, like, a habitat or, whatever it tends to take over, I can understand how it wouldn't be able to survive if it tried to leap. Because it's not a parasite anymore. It's matured into basically a full head. So it jumping to another body, it's not like the parasite starting over. It's like this new species trying to jump into something else. So it's very different than it being... It's not even a parasite anymore, really. It's a head, I guess. It's a head that's taken over, a female brain. So I guess that would be the best explanation for why it worked, but... Either way, we're going to have to see what happens. Shinichi, however he survives, is going to have to destroy the body of his mother or risk being killed off. And, of course, tons of other people being killed. Hopefully his father's alive. That would at least... That's, like, the only good thing that could possibly happen at this point. Like, his father's found. He's in critical, but then he heals and he's, alive at least. Because his mother is 100% gone. I mean, her head came clean off. That really sucked. And he, of course, had, like, the worst thing, because it's like, I should have told him from the beginning. The only reason I even let them go is because you said they'd be safe. And so he's really all messed up from the decisions that he made, which is kind of a normal thing, because it's all sorts of crazy stuff happening right now to him. So I'm really looking forward to this next episode. Of course, though, I want to know what you guys thought about this one. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And I want to know what you guys think is going to happen. Like, how is he going to survive this? Because he got stabbed through the heart. Like, that's pretty much all there is to it. He was stabbed through the heart. That should be fairly automatic. But obviously he's going to make it. He's the main character. We haven't seen him go into, like, the sort of, slick back hair mode that we get to see, like, in the opening scene. We haven't seen him do that yet. And that might be when Migi takes over. I thought initially that was when they, like, officially bond. But maybe that's when Migi takes over more of his body, because he doesn't have complete control of his hand, unless Migi gives him full control. And obviously, he won't have full control, or Migi wouldn't have full control of Shinichi's body, unless maybe Shinichi was about to die, and that consciously he's not able to really do anything. So Migi takes over the body, and maybe that's how it all plays out. But I want to know how you guys think Shinichi's going to survive this, so please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.